So it leads us to the core functions of BDSP. The first is business analysis and diagnosis. Let's look at it like when you're sick, you go to the hospital and the doctor asks you, what is the challenge with you? You say, oh, doctor, I feel this way. I feel that way. I'm having headache. And he tells you, okay, will you run tests? You have to run a test so we can see what actually is the issue. And the doctor runs the test on you and it comes out that is what the business analysis and diagnosis does. It evaluates the client's business model, what your market position is, the operational processes. He knows this, you're strong in this, you're weak in this, you have opportunities here, you have threats here. That is what the function of BDSP does. Then it also trains and equips businesses with skills in management, in marketing, in finance and innovation, just like we are training you now. That is what it does. So it does that for not just you, your staff, because if you're competent and your staff is not competent, it doesn't make an impact. So what you have to cascade it down to the people who are below you and all that. Then we also have strategic planning. It's plans for you to tell you, oh, at this peak, this is what you're supposed to do. At this period, do not invest. This period, so your planning. It also gives you financial advisory. Situations where your businesses manage working capital, it helps you to forecast your business. Very important in business. You need to forecast. You don't just work. You need to forecast. You need to secure funding. A situation where you do not have money to do your business and all that. It's the function of BDSP to tell you, okay, I will secure so funds for you from here, from there. So you can imagine you're expanding the need, a clear financial roadmap. That's where BDSP comes in. You also have the market access, whether it's reaching international buyers or segmenting customers. Craft strategies to expand your market reach. Then we have innovation, like I said earlier on about innovation. BDSPs push businesses to innovate. It's not just in products, but in the processes and marketing. It is very key that you need to say, oh, this innovation, this is what you need to. Imagine that your product doesn't even have a good branding, or it has just been in the market. People are tired of seeing something. You need to innovate. We strategize to package new products. So that is innovation. You need to innovative processes. And you also need to monitor and evaluate. You need to track the processes using metrics like revenue growth and customer acquisition. You need to ensure that you're not just putting and then you don't monitor to know if there's progress. There is always monitoring and evaluation, which is very key. So can you now see how each of these areas, they play a role in driving success? Very, very important. I said earlier on, who needs BDSP? Startups. That is what we talked about. So exporting comes with unique challenges. You need to navigate complex regulatories, manage financial risk, whether is scaling efficiently. So the BDSPs, they address the pain points by simplifying the process and providing tailored solution. For instance, let me give you an example. They might help you, BDSPs can help you streamline operations or develop risk mitigation strategy. For the result, sustainable growth and higher profitability. Ms. Chikwele, please, can you mute yourself? Ms. Chikwele, please. Thank you. For instance, they might help you streamline operations or develop a risk mitigation strategy, like I said. Ms. Chikwele, please. So this sustainable growth and all is for sustainable growth and higher profitability. So with support of BDSP, you're not just surviving, you're thriving in the competitive markets. And that's what we all want to do. So startups need it, growing businesses need it, struggling enterprise, they need it. These are the people who need BDSPs. And I believe that majority of us here fall into that category. So you see how important the BDS becomes, especially for people who want to take their exports very serious this 2025. You need to sit down with the BDSP, tell the BDSP what your problem is, and we strategize to see how we can make you, push you into the international market. So why exporters need BDSPs? Because there's a framework that BDSPs use to deliver results. You need to be, there has to be assessment. You need to identify the gaps and opportunities. And this is where you uncover the root cases of issues. Like I said earlier on, there is always an issue which is turned to opportunities. So the reason why you need these BDSPs is they have identified the gap. There's an opportunity for you to grow. So we uncover the root causes of the issue and turn them to opportunities. We also have strategic development. You need to craft out tailored business plan. That's what the BDSP does for you. Imagine a plan with no specific, like you have a plan, no specific information. It just feels like it was made just for you. It's not supposed to be like that. Your business plan is supposed to be able to sell your products. If a company or the bank asks the BDSP, oh, bring his business plan, and the business plan doesn't even show any relevant information, how much you started your business, your forecasting, your unit price, what you sell, it's speaking for yourself. It's not speaking for what or where you want this business plan to go to. So there are things that we should look at. Then implementing, need to apply the strategies, the tools and resources, which a lot of us are not doing. So here you see that the challenges addressed are you need to navigate complex export regulations, market access and customer targeting. You cannot be selling diaper and be targeting adults. You should know who your customer you're targeting. You need to manage financial risk and forecasting, like I talked about, scaling efficiently and innovatively. So the impact of the BDSP is higher profitability and sustainable growth. If a business doesn't have sustainable growth, I'm sorry, that business is not it at all. There should be sustainable growth. And that is what the BDSP helps you to do. So we all as exporters, or you all as exporters, need BDSPs. So, like I said, I talked about this earlier on, but I'll still talk about it. The phases of BDSP support, like I said, the assessment, you need to identify the gaps and opportunity, strategy development, tailored business plan, implementation, need to deploy the tools and expertise, also monitor, continuous improvement and scaling, very, very important for every business. So I want to talk about this case study. I don't know if we're all here so we can participate. Are we all here? Okay. Let's say we meet, the scenario is we're using a shea butter exporter struggling with market access, and you meet an exporter, ABC, is into shea butter, he's struggling to access international markets. So when they partnered with a BDSP, things changed. Do you understand? What did the BDSP do for him? Digital marketing strategy. They connected them with international buyers. How many of us have digital marketing? How many of us are using social media to market our products? A lot of us are not doing that. It's not just about opening Instagram. You put your company, ABC company, and you want people to just follow you. There has to be marketing. You need to put your products with nice pictures, not low quality pictures. Oh. Export has to do with a lot of money. So we don't need low quality pictures. You need to get a good photographer to snap these pictures for you. You advertise this your products. When people, you see how when some people, you're going through the social media and some things just pop up. Intentional, unintentional, you, what's this? So what's this something that is popping up? You see that you're looking through it. It happens to me sometimes. I'm going through Instagram and I'm like, this thing just popped up. You start looking at it. Where is this company? Where are they located? Where are they situated? That is what you want. That is how people would see you. When they see that you have such products and they are very beautiful, they would follow you. It will help you connect to international buyers because, you know, Instagram is not just for Nigeria. It's worldwide. How about LinkedIn? Have we thought of going into LinkedIn to see the strategy we can, or businesses we can get from there? So why financial planning helps our businesses scale production? For this case study, you see that what the Bdsp is trying to do is trying to help the financial planning scale. So within a year, the revenue has grown into 50%, and they've entered into 2 markets. So this is the power of targeted intervention. So you see that it's turning potentials into performance. From struggling company, the Bdsp comes in. They tell you that, no, this share butter, you're struggling with access. What digital platform do you have? You have no digital platform. The Bdsp has come in, turned this digital marketing strategy into something else. It has connected them to not just 1 international buyer, 2 international buyers. And then it has helped with its financial planning. So the outcome is 50% revenue growth. And it has also added into 2 international markets within a year. So you see how important it is for Bdsps to come into your businesses. Sorry. So it brings us now to the second topic, which is tools for business analysis. And I want us to talk about these tools. And the first is business model canvas. And this business model canvas is for visualizing key business elements, cash flow forecasting, because you need to predict your inflow and outflow. So what this business model canvas does for you is to predict what your inflow is and what your outflow is. Very important tool for your business. This is the innovation we are talking about. And this is what a lot of companies now are using. They're using the business model canvas. So it's the tool is like your strategic ally. It helps you, it helps your financial health when it's critical. If your working capital management ensures liquidity, while cash forecasting prevents shortage. So that is what this business model canvas does. Then your lean canvas also prioritizes critical startup issues. What the problem, what the solution is. Then we also have the NABC model, where you need to define the needs, the approach, the benefits, and the competition. So these are new tools that people are using for their businesses, like I said. Then the key metrics for exporters, you need, your customer needs lifetime value, monthly sales revenue, gross margin. Even when you're doing your business plan, it will ask you for your monthly sales revenue. So if you key in, maybe in framework 2, I'll tell you about these platforms that people are using, these innovative platforms. But for the purpose of learning now, let's just stick to this, that these are new innovative tools that the BDSPs are using for exporters' businesses to see that they excel and remain competitive in the market. So, which leads us to financial management for exporters. So for key concepts, we have working capital management, we have cash flow forecasting, we have risk mitigation. So, like I said, working capital management, it ensures liquidity and cash flow prevents shortage. Let me repeat it again. Working capital management ensures liquidity. You have money in your company accounts, while cash forecasting prevents shortage. And then there's risk mitigation. It's when we have currency fluctuation or delayed payments. That's what these key concepts does for us. So for all exporters managing our businesses, we should think of our working capital management. We should think of our cash flow forecasting. We should think of the risk mitigation. Not when you do one business, then you're waiting for funds. You cannot maybe next product comes in. You start saying, oh, I cannot do it to the currency exchange right now. So that is why you have cash flow forecasting. You put a margin in case there are issues of delayed payment or currency fluctuation. You can fit into the margin and then increase your price when you send. You can't leave a gap and waiting for the other party to say, oh, because of currency, I cannot, currency fluctuation, I cannot send this product to. You have to wait. He will move on to the next person who is busy and ready for him. So we should all think of all that in our business. Then also look at it that working capital is equals to current assets minus current liabilities. You don't combine it together. What you have, your current assets minus your current liabilities. Don't put the money you're owing people in one corner, saying it's part of your working capital. It's not part of your working capital. So what you have is minus what your liabilities are. So it helps you indicate short-term financial health and efficiency. And why does it matter? It matters because it ensures liquidity to meet operational needs and it maintains business stability and growth. So that's for your businesses, that it should maintain business stability and growth. So financial management for exporters, like for the working capital, the current assets, you should have cash on hand, accounts receivable, and inventory. While for your current liabilities, you should have accounts payable, wages and taxes payable, unearned revenue. Then for your positive cash flow, you should ensure more cash inflow than outflow. There should be more inflow than outflow. Then we have financial management for exporters. For the operating cycle, is the time taken to convert inventory and receivables into cash. And the phases of this cycle is you needed raw materials acquisition, the production process, the sales and collection. And the goal is to minimize the cycle for better liquidity. So the policies for effective working capital management, you needed to set clear terms for credit sales. You need to implement strict collection policies. It's not when A collects, you say, manager, collect this money. You now say, accountant, collect this money. No, you need to implement strict collection policy. There should be an account where all the money goes into. Not later, you say, I want to collect from this person, collect from this person. That's accounting is babash. So you need to implement strict collection policies. Then you also need to avoid overstocking or understocking. For most of us who send out products, there should be, don't overpile, because when you overpile and you don't have customers, there's no international buyer. Remember that it's depending on the product you're doing, some might start decaying and all that. So, and don't understock. Then you should use tools like the economic order quantity. Then you have to maintain a buffer for unexpected needs. Keep cash reserves. And a customer might call, oh, you won't start running around. Oh, Nkechi, please, can you loan me? This business is very, very important. Nkechi will not loan you. We all know what the economic situation now is. Nkechi has his own plans. He won't be able to loan you. So you should always have a personal account where you can keep savings, cash reserves, that if something comes up, you're able to access it and do what you're supposed to do. Then for the cash forecasting tools, You need to predict future cash inflows and outflows. You need to ensure timely payments and investment. You need to set payment and investment rules. Tell the company, oh, if I set out this product or sell this product at this so time, when am I getting? Because you need to work with your time and all that. So you don't just allow them toss you around. You need to set timely payments and investments. Then you need to, using that method, you need to direct forecasting based on expected cash transactions. While indirect forecasting, you need to steps for accurate cash forecasting. You need to identify revenue sources and at the good timing. You need to list fixed and variable expenses. You need to track payment schedules, your receivables and payables. That's what your accountant needs to do for you. Then you need to monitor and revise forecasting regularly. You can do it monthly. It's good you do it monthly, so you are aware of what is happening in the business. And the benefit of cash forecasting is it prevents you from cash shortage. You can identify where you need funding easily. You can optimize investment opportunities and improve financial. For tracking cash inflows and outflows, you needed the budgeting templates. We all have formats of all these budgeting templates for you to be provided to you later. Then we have profitability dashboards where you need to visualize financial performance. So you know what if you put in your date today for your performance, what you have performed, it guides you stage by stage. So it's something you can keep using. It's a template you can keep using to know if your business, if there's an improvement in the performance or it's actually reducing. Then you have automated tools, accounting software for real-time monitoring. Then we also have another case study for effective working capital. A small manufacturing firm that is struggling with cash flow. What does he need to do? He needs to improve his inventory turnover. He needs to adjust credit terms with customers and suppliers. So what's going to be the outcome? He needs to reduce operating cycle by 30% to ensure better liquidity. So you see that his company is struggling with cash flow. Those are the tools that we are talking about. If you put in your cash flow in that tool, it just tells you, oh, this place is depreciating, this place is increasing. So you need to see where it's going low and where it's going high. So what these tools does that it will help you increase, it will pinpoint where is wrong and where is right. So you adjust. So you see that at the end of the day, with these problems, with this company's problem, you see that there's improved inventory turnover. So at the end of the day, it has adjusted its credit terms with both its customers and its suppliers. So we also have digital marketing for export success. And the key elements of digital marketing, we have the SEO and SEM. We have social media engagement, like I said earlier on, email marketing campaigns. And the practical tips is you need to create localized content for target markets. You already know who your target markets are. So there need to be content to attract these target markets. You need to use analytical tools like Google Analytics to refine strategies. Giving an example too, an exporter increasing sales by 35% using social media ads. We all know how powerful the social media is. Anything that happens goes on social media. So you need to, make use of those platforms to make your business very relevant. Then Nigeria's ecosystem opportunity. Please, Mr. Hidema, can you mute yourself? Okay. In Nigeria's ecosystem is full of opportunities. So we should think of the large market and its increasing internet penetration. And to succeed, you need to bridge gaps in knowledge, funding, and maybe operations. So the BDSPs will help you build strong strategic partners and leveraging government incentives. Remember, it's not just having a great product. It's about positioning yourself to win. Very, very important. You need to position yourself to win. So the BDSPs will bridge the gaps of knowledge, funding, and operations. And in the success strategies is strategic partners. You have reasonable partners, not partners that won't bring anything to the table. You have partners that would grow your business and then leverage government incentives for exporters. There are incentives. There are a lot of incentives that exporters have not given. There's EUDR. So there's Spine that is wanting to collaborate with people. So there are lots of government incentives for exporters. So that's what the BDSP does. It tells you, it finds that, oh, there's need here to, key into it and then strategize. So also, when meeting a BDSP, there are practical steps to meet a client. When you meet a client, you need to prepare. Miss Patricia comes to me and says, oh, I have a problem. I want to see you. I want to talk to you as a BDSP. Before you even come to meet me, I should have been able to research your industry, your competition, and your market share. Because you can't just come to meet me and I'm looking like I don't know anything about your company. I should be able to tell you a little bit about maybe a little history about your company and all that. And then I need to engage you with open-ended questions and your challenges and goals. I want you to bear in mind that meeting a BDSP, it's confidential. What you have told Madam Patricia is not what you're going to tell Aremu, because they don't even deal on the same product. So it's supposed to be confidential to make the client really relaxed with you. So engaging the customer, you need to start up open-ended questions and the challenges and goals he's facing. Then you need to use the tools, like I said earlier on, the NABC or BCM, for clarity's sake. Then you need to offer concise data-backed solutions that align with the goals of the company. Then you need to follow up. A lot of what's happening in Nigeria now is, I think last week somebody complained, oh, NEPC is doing this. They took me to Lagos for a training and they left me. That is not what the BDSP is doing. They try to build a rapport. There has to be consistent communication and support. They need to follow these steps to leverage the tools and frameworks from the training. So what the BDSP does is they follow up. So far as you've engaged the BDSP will handhold you till there is success. You see success in what you have complained about. When there's no success, they will have to say, okay, why don't we strategize and change product or something? But there has to be success. You don't just give up like that. So far as there's funding, there has to be headway. Then call to action is, as a wrap-up, I want you all to live with this, that you need to enroll in the BDSP, because not just hear everything that the BDSP does, you can also be a BDSP yourself. It's led by experts who give you tailored advice, networking opportunities, and tools to scale your export operations or take them to the next step. So it's important that we as exporters, we can also enroll in these BDSP courses. Okay. So that you don't just say, oh, I'm waiting for a BDSP, or this BDSP is not giving me what I want. You also can be a BDSP on your own. So what are the benefits of the course? It's an expert-led session on critical export topics, live scenarios. You can even come up and say, this is what my company is. Everybody here, let's put heads together and solve what my company issue is. You're not involving just one person right now. You're involving experts. So they are diving into your problem. Oh, let's see how we can resolve this. And then you have access to networking and funding opportunities. They also have tailored advice for scaling your export operations with the ideas of individuals who are involved in it. So how to enroll? You can contact NEPC for further services, and they will link you to Kaduna Business School for this. So it's not NEPC that does it directly, it's Kaduna Business School. So we would link you to these services so that you can, have it, you can have these services for yourself. Thank you very much. So if you have any questions, we are here, we are up for them.
Thank you. Thank you, Chinelu. This was a very good presentation. It has refreshed my memory, So thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much. Am I audible? Am I audible?
You are. Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you very much. In Chinelu Organ, of course, you have done justice to that presentation. And what I want to do is a little wrap up to bring it into context. Export solutions to export problems are usually multi-layered. There is no silver bullet, one silver bullet that will solve all the problems overnight. So this is a layer of the smart cluster framework, the model that we are developing as a regional solution. What she has explained to you right now is a business development service provider services that are available to small businesses. And a lot of people will listen to what she has said and say some of these things are very complex and complicated and in-depth that may not be relevant to my very small business. And I want to advise you that that is not true. The only thing that some of them can say is that for me to secure this kind of sophisticated professional advice that brings more structure and makes my business more attractive to my buyers and to finance, how can I afford it? That is the real problem. So what the framework is doing now is to leverage our cooperation at scale across the Niger Delta in order to create a matrix of professionals, business development service professionals with different areas of in-depth knowledge that will work together to provide a kind of institutional support to members of clusters across the region. That is one. The professionals who have experience in different areas can have specializations. They can come together and provide online consulting to exporters. On the other hand, we also want to have a situation whereby the export clusters themselves will now begin to rethink how they look at themselves. Because in our definition, a BDSP can be an individual, it can be an organization. So how do we get export clusters to take up more responsibility as BDSP to their members? Do we encourage them to train some of their ESCO as BDSPs? Do we encourage them to find some of their members that already have professional competencies and push them to become BDSPs that provide service to the members? So we need to have that additional value proposition. I am joining this cluster because I'm also going to get support from them in structuring my business so that I can be attractive to finance, microcredit. That is the second aspect. So all clusters now will be required with our support to be able to look at themselves as BDSPs, having that capability in-house so that they can render this service at a discount, at a significant discount to their members. We also believe that the clusters can should begin to think of themselves also as businesses, because the export market is remote. If you have a cluster of local businesses that the local market is guaranteed, it's a captive market, then there is a limited basis for clusters to be, for cluster associations to be businesses themselves. They can focus on providing just business services. But for export business that is sophisticated, that is abroad, that has a lot of attendant risks,
Abeg, come carry the drink comot here.
it is pertinent that export clusters become businesses themselves. They should become JV businesses in joint venture with their members, so that they can do group businesses, group exports, and take their members through that learning curve, support them to the members to now mature into individual, independent businesses. So in summary, what I would like to say is that BDSP in Nigeria, we have accredited licensing institutions that provide the accreditation that provides recognition as a BDSP. And she has mentioned one of them. In fact, it's Kaduna Business School and Lagos Business School. They are working with SMEDAN to make sure there's sanity in the BDSP ecosystem, because a lot of people are not doing it professionally. So this is not what we are marketing here, but we just want you to know that as an export cluster, please try to get that your organization, that person will have the license at the individual level, and then your organization can have the accreditation at a cluster level. And then you will become part of our regional matrix of BDSPs, whereby you can get clients from another state because they know that we have profiled you on our portal, that you have special skills and experience providing support in a certain area. The other thing I didn't mention is that because there are different levels of businesses and different levels of requirements, we don't need you to be a graduate and know every aspect of business development services. We have templates and toolkits. We are developing templates and toolkits. There are specific tools within the framework that are sufficient. If you know how to use those tools, you can provide BDSP to nano and micro businesses within your cooperative and cluster, especially if those tools are selected based on the specific products that you are exporting. So we can put together a toolbox for your specific cluster, so that within that cluster, there will be somebody capable enough to provide that first primary healthcare to that business. Let's put it that way. It's like a primary healthcare. Then if there are challenges that are coming outside the boundaries of that framework, you can escalate it to the regional cluster, where our matrix of BDSPs will be on hand to support you. This service can be delivered online, and this is what we are going to develop. We are going to have an online framework of BDSPs that will be available at a highly discounted rate to all members, and we are doing it for ourselves. So more of that will come up tomorrow, at the next meeting on Thursday. But at this point, I would like to lay emphasis on the export plan. The most important service that the BDSP will do for any business is to give you direction and focus, and to forecast. You want to go into this business, are you seeing the full context? Do you understand the terrain, the environment you are going through? Are you prepared? That is the number one job of a BDSP. And then it will give you a plan, an export plan, and give you a roadmap, so that you can begin to check at every milestone whether the business is performing or not. This is a gap in Nigerian business ecosystem. Most people are not working with a plan. It's only when they want a loan from a bank that they go and get those documents prepared. This BDSP framework is going to guarantee that every member of every cluster will have a plan. Every single member of export cluster will have a plan with the support of technology, digital technology. It is practical. So on this note, I would like to move forward. And I know we want to ask questions. We're going to take a few questions, but I want us to listen to one of our cluster organizations, Commercial Farmers Association of Nigeria. They are the first BDSP